Alright, what's up guys? So, this is gonna be my rundown video, my analysis on the fight that's gonna happen tomorrow between Gennady Golovkin versus Antonio Rubio for the WBA and IBO titles and Rubio's intern WBC belt. Alright, so I waited this long because I wanted to know what the weigh-in was gonna be and I wanted to see how their training camps was. With that being said, Gennady came in at 159 and Rubio came in at 161.8, I think. And they gave him like what was it, like an hour or two to make the weight, but he didn't. So he ended up paying Triple G 1,000 100,000 K. Now, I think he did that on purpose so he wouldn't be penalized and get his belt taken away, so he didn't come in that heavy. I don't know what the rules are or when you don't make the weight, but in certain belts, if you don't make the weight, they strip you of your title. So I don't know if he did that on purpose, if he came in just that little bit above to get that weight advantage, because I do think he will come in more heavier than Gennady Golovkin. I don't think Gennady Golovkin is gonna come that heavy. Now, this is a big fight because considering their styles, they're gonna clash and basically gonna go toe to toe, or at least that's what the general public believes. I think so. But there's basically five questions, or well, for me, there's five questions. The first one is, how will Gennady Golovkin react with Rubio's power? Because Gennady Golovkin has faced good competition. In my opinion, the best one he's faced has been Curtis Stevens. And in that fight, he went, I think, to round 9. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that. And it was a good fight because to me it showed I got to see a different side of Gennady Golovkin. He was hit in that. The thing is, I think Gennady Golovkin is the best middleweight in the world right now. I don't think there's anyone that can beat him unless you go up a weight division. And people like to think that Gennady Golovkin's unbeatable or untouchable, which I don't think is a fact. I think he's the best by far, but he's definitely beatable, and most importantly, he's hittable. Since he likes to go through his opponents, he comes in forward and leaves himself open with attacks. You've seen it in the Gale fight. He got hit flush. The reason he that happened is because either Triple G has a good chin or Gale didn't have enough power, which is I think that's the case. Now, change the scenario with a guy like Antonio Rubio, who has a great knockout percentage. Most of his fights are won by knockout. What happens? It's gonna be fire versus fire. So I think this is more of a test for Gennady Golovkin than it is for Rubio. I think Rubio is clearly and obviously the underdog in this, but I give him a good chance. Especially, my question is, how is Gennady Golovkin's chin? That is what I want to know. If he's able to take that power, then I don't. Then there's not a doubt in my mind anymore that of the type of fighter he is, a caliber. Even though I already think he's the best in the middleweight division. Now, the other question is, how long will the match last? I don't think it's gonna go the distance. I doubt it, especially with both of these guys being knockout artists. It's not gonna go the distance. I don't think it's gonna go past the eighth round. I think it's gonna hit maybe the seventh. Considering both their styles, someone's gonna get knocked out. I think Triple G's gonna finish him off with a body shot. I don't think it's gonna go to the head. I feel like Rubio's gonna be blocking too much upstairs, and Triple G's gonna be forced to go hit him with a body shot and put him down. And I think Rubio would have some success. Probably like early on, put some pressure on, establish his own power, so Triple G doesn't just go through him. And I think that's good. That's a good way to start. But I don't think he's gonna be able to keep it up. I feel like once he feels Gennady's power, it's gonna be pretty much like, oh crap, all right, this is the real deal. And I think Gennady's power is gonna be just too much for him. The other question is, who's more likely to win? Well, looking for both of them, one undefeated, one's not, but that doesn't really mean anything. I think I think Gennady is more likely to win this fight because he's also very intelligent. A lot of people don't know this, but he has a very rich amateur background with like what is it like over like I think like 300 amateur fights. I think it is or something like that. This dude, this dude is a very good amateur background. He won a silver medal in the Olympics. He won like 3 gold medals in world championship tournaments and stuff like that. Gennady Golovkin has great technique, but the thing is, he doesn't have enough time to display it because he always knocks out his opponents. How are you supposed to display your skills and your technical aspect if you're just knocking out your guys? It's very hard. And Rubio, he has some good techniques. He knows how to throw a good jab. He has good body punches. I'm interested to see what Rubio can bring to the table. I think it's going to be a really good match. Now, as for the winner of this fight, what's next for them is very important. This fight could change out a lot of things in the midway division because everyone wants to see Gennady Golovkin face Miguel Cotto or Canelo Alvarez. They're supposed to fight each other in May next year, and probably the winner's going to face Gennady Golovkin, depending on how some things play out, which will be another video I'll talk about. But this is for Gennady Golovkin's Super WBA and IBO title, and Rubio's intern WBC belt. The real belt is the one held by Miguel Cotto. Now, the winner of this match is a mandatory for Miguel Cotto's WBC belt after he faces his opponent in May or whatever. So, if Rubio wins, he's gonna face Miguel Cotto probably after he wins, and a lot of people are gonna be upset because if he wins, it's gonna be an automatic upset. A lot of people are going for Gennady Golovkin. If Triple G wins, he's gonna have an interim belt, the WBA and the IBO. So this is a very high risk reward because you're facing another guy that can possibly knock you out. He's very strong. He's good, and the risk is if you lose your shot, you lose your belt, and you kind of have to start all over. And if you win, you get that mandatory you get that mandatory shot, and you're the interim champion. Another belt, it's never bad. So both of them are literally one shot away from scoring a big fight. So this fight is very important for both of them. As for who I think has been looking better in camp, I think Gennady Golovkin by far. Just looking at his physique, but that doesn't really mean a lot. He's looking good. His power is just crazy. I think he probably hits the hardest that are in comparison to any other fighter out right now. Triple G, I think his is good, but I think his is more gonna be about strategy. His trainer, what is it? Robert Garcia. He knows what he's dealing with. He's not dumb. He's gonna give him a good plan. I think it might be kind of establish your power early. Make sure you're not acting dumb, trying to please the fans and go hit what they knock out. I think he's planning on wearing him down probably, and he's gonna try to take him to the stretch, and then hopefully by the end knock him out. I don't think Triple G has been that far in a fight. I don't know what's the longest he ever lasted. Let me check real quick. 8th round. Looks like the 8th round is the farthest he ever got in a fight, which he still got 4 more rounds afterwards. This is scheduled for a 12-round fight, so we'll see what happens. I'm picking Triple G to win, probably by the 7th. I don't think it's gonna go that far. I doubt it. Especially both of them are just gonna go toe to toe. Nah. But it will be a very good fight. I'm not counting Rubio. I think he has a good shot too. I think it's gonna be whoever lands their strong shots first, and then that's gonna determine the winner. Alright guys, I'm out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.